Hello, everybody. Welcome to A Space for Grace. I'm your host, Ashley Grace, and welcome to Season 2. I am so glad to be here with you all today. I have a very special guest with me today, Ev.
It is the infamous Ev
Milton.
Milton, as your coworkers love to call me.
We don't have a red stapler for you today.
That's okay. I don't need a red stapler.
I think we're going to get you a red stapler.
Okay, that's all right. Can I have a mustache on it?
Maybe.
Maybe. Neither of us have seen the TV show that they reference for Milton. Is it Office Space?
I don't know.
Whatever it is. Neither
I
of us have
never
seen
know
it.
anything that they talk about, so.
Well, we just know that he has a mustache, has glasses, and is large. So it fits my description.
You're not large. Whatever.
My shirt size says otherwise. It's so great to be here in A Space for Grace.
Isn't it lovely? If only they could see behind the camera and the mess.
In the last 20 minutes that we spent getting it together.
You did a great job. Evan half set up for me today.
I set up, and then she reset up.
It happens. I'm OCD.
It's okay.
Scoot over here. Get in the camera shot.
Get in the camera shot. Am I out of the camera shot?
I mean, you were a little bit out of it.
Okay,
it's
now
okay.
I'm in it. I'm in it now.
Yeah. Well, everybody, this is Evan.
Hello.
Evan Mann.
Evan Mann, yes.
We prayed for you. Look, it's been a while.
It's
I was gonna say a couple weeks ago, but it's
been a couple months.
it was 2 months ago.
What was it? Was it
It was for your Spartan.
for the Spartan?
Yes, and it went well.
It went well. It went great. I only cramped up towards the end. So
You made it back safe
I made it back safe.
and sound.
And sound. Maybe a little bit crazy, but that I was like that before I left.
Yeah, and you're gonna go do another one this week.
Half marathon.
You're crazy.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't follow my personal Instagram and you only follow the podcast, he's my boyfriend.
I'm the boyfriend. She's a
Um,
girlfriend now.
I'm my
Kind
girlfriend now. You'll never let me live that down.
Never.
And we're going to talk a little bit about how we got together and then how our spiritual growth helped us get ready for a relationship. Because I feel like neither of us were ready.
I think neither of us wanted a relationship.
That's true. Obviously I was very set on having a podcast about living a single life.
And here we are, season 2, already flipping the script.
Yes. 11 episodes in. So
That's more than most TV shows make it, though.
Yeah. But we start out every episode with some prayer requests. So do you have any prayer requests?
My little baby nephew, who is expected July 3rd now, has been moved up 2 weeks. And we just hope that that date stays where it is because he's already going to be delivered at 37 weeks.
Yes.
So prayers for Teddy Man.
Baby Teddy.
What about you?
Katie. Katie needs our prayers right now.
We love Katie.
We love Katie.
We miss Katie.
We miss Katie. Katie is going through some stuff, and she needs all the prayers she can get right now.
And she's going to get them.
She's getting them whether she likes it or not.
Exactly.
Period. I do have a praise. The last time that I recorded, I think it was the last time I recorded. It was one of the last times anyway. I asked for prayers for Meadow and her heart surgery. That went great. She is recovering very well. She was scootering around today, as I saw on
Scootering around.
Scootering.
Good old Razor scooter, like an electric
I
one.
mean, she's 5. I don't think she's electric scootering around.
Okay, so a razor scooter. Watch those shins.
I mean, I think she has like a 3-wheeled scooter.
Okay, that makes sense. She'll be cool one day.
She already is cool.
That's fair. She did, survive the surgery and everything and push through like an absolute champion.
She did, yes. So that is a very big praise. And then I think we should pray for our crew. As we have one crew left.
Yes.
We technically have ended crew.
But we have an unscheduled.
We have an unscheduled crew because
wrap up because we have one chapter left.
we have one chapter left. And we're like, we didn't finish. We should finish.
So whenever that's going to be.
I think it'll be next week.
Okay. Sounds good.
Maybe. I don't know.
Who knows?
But
at this point.
Yes. Keep our crew in your prayers. I mean, we're still going to be pickleballing and who knows what else. But yeah. I guess we can get right on into it.
Let's do it.
Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
So, as I've been introduced as the boyfriend, I have known you for several years.
Yeah.
Just indirectly. We go to the same gym. Unplanned, but I wore the Iron Mayhem hoodie. I was introduced to you while you were deadlifting, probably.
I'm always deadlifting.
Always deadlifting.
Yeah.
That's okay. We love that. I've been working out there for several years.
You've probably been there longer than I have.
I mean, I started going when I was 13.
Oh, yeah, you've been going there
Just
longer than
on
I
and
have.
off, because I definitely got out of shape in between those 10 years, and I had to come back to it, but we're pushing through. So that's been a big part of my journey that we'll get into. I'm an accountant, so I'm very boring. Sorry. I talk about spreadsheets and numbers all the time.
You're not that bad, though.
I'm not that bad.
He's not that boring.
I'm a pretty fun accountant. I mean, I run Spartan races and lift weights for a living, so
That you do.
So there's that. I'm almost done with my master's program in accountancy, and I'll have a CPA, making the big bucks. Someone got a good deal out of this, didn't they?
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's me. Unless there's something else that you think I should share.
Well, I mean, how'd you get to know Jesus?
Yeah, that probably is a good thing to bring up on this podcast.
I mean, we're here to talk about Jesus.
We're here to talk about Jesus. Enough about me. I have always grown up in the church. I grew up going to church all the time, I should say. It was a small church over in Bluff City. My family has been there forever, my mom's side, and I loved it. I actually cried when we tried to go to celebration at one point because I missed my cousins, and then my cousins left and stopped coming to church. So guess we came back for nothing. I'm kidding. I gave my life over to Jesus, and I got saved at 7 years old. I was in a prayer huddle at Upward Basketball, the most elite sports players in Bluntful, Tennessee. And I asked Jesus to come into all of our hearts. And
Cutest.
the coach told my parents, and they got me saved.
I don't think a lot of kids ask for Jesus to come into everybody's hearts.
My parents knew that there was something different about me.
Yeah. There sure is.
There is. I'm a nerd.
No, you just have a really big heart.
I try.
Yeah.
I went to Resurrection a lot. That is it's either the Presbyterian or the Methodist conference. I don't know who really runs it, but I went to that every year for several years. Loved it. Answered the call to ministry at the end of the weekend, and that's something that I don't think even the crew knows. I think only you know about that.
Yeah.
Something fell off at some point. I stopped going up to the call because mainly it was a sign up for our summer camp kind of deal and pay us lots of money. But here I am today.
Yeah.
Had a big turnaround in the past couple months.
Yeah. And now we go to Calvary.
Now we go to Calvary. I went to that same church for a long time. Fell out of love with it because my family had some complications and some feuds, and it was a hassle to go to church. I didn't want to go. Didn't feel like I got anything from it, so I visited Calvary last July, August. Fell in love with the way that the pastor speaks, Mr. Robbie Hilton. Loved the messages, music, and finally started reaching out at the membership class, where I reconnected, very much so, with this lady.
Yeah, it was like a God thing.
It absolutely was.
But we like got connected at Tiff's small group.
Right. We met at the small group last fall, and we kind of that's when we started talking again, because then we saw each other in the gym, and we got friendly, and it was just.
I felt like I knew you. I was like, I always saw you at the gym, but it was like, hey. And then once we went to small group, I was like, hey, I know you.
We had that deeper conversation at small group. Like you said, at one point, we answered questions together.
Yeah.
And I feel like that really deepened our relationship, because we were the only ones answering questions at this small group.
We were like digging deep too. Having very deep conversations.
And then we turned back to Tiff, and she's like,
I don't think she expected how deep we were going to.
No. I don't think anyone expected me, because, I didn't really talk to them about that until small group.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that for myself.
I don't think I expected it for myself either, because it was a very hard time for me. I was very sick.
Yes, you were.
And I don't actually remember a lot of what we talked about.
Well, I don't remember a whole lot of what we talked about either. Mainly because I've slept since then several times. But I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. But you kind of caught me off guard earlier when you said that you remembered what I was wearing to small group.
Camo on camo.
I don't remember what camo on camo I was wearing. I just know I was wearing camo pants.
You were wearing camo pants, and you were wearing a camo sweatshirt, hoodie. It was a long sleeve. I know that.
The camo pants I remember, because Tiff was like, girl, you need to get some pants that fit you.
And then Aaron probably went, oh, look, she's not wearing pants.
Aaron wasn't there. This was at Tiff's house.
Oh.
Yeah.
Then you must have wore camo twice.
I wear camo all the time.
Exactly. So we're thinking two different.
I'm always in my camo sweats. Anytime I'm at a crew, I'm in my.
You usually are in your camo sweats.
Yes.
Yeah. Except for it's been summer now, so.
They're my comfy, cozy camo sweats.
Comfy, cozy camo sweats. Comfy, cozy camo sweats. Okay. Say that 5 times fast.
But I feel like we were both going through a lot at that time.
We're both healing. We're both still dealing with things that we hadn't fully processed.
Yeah.
We still are, because that's just how humans are. We don't fully heal from things, but we didn't. I feel like it's different now. Back then, maybe we didn't see as much of the light at the end of the tunnel, whereas now we see.
We see what God's doing in our lives.
And I'm very thankful for it. I don't want to speak for you, but.
Yeah. We see how he's working.
Absolutely.
And the good that he's doing. And it's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. I'd get speechless way too much thinking about it. But after small group, we, I think I had asked you, like our small group ended with Tiff.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kept seeing you at church. And I think we realized we went to the same church at Tiff's small group.
Yes.
I was like, you go to Calvary?
I was like, I go to Calvary.
I was like, I go to Calvary.
That's crazy, because we both go to Calvary.
Yeah. And
then we started talking to the gym more.
Yes.
Started talking to the gym more, and then someone added someone, or we had already started talking, but I think it was the video at Iron Mayhem. We did a tour video that never got posted.
No, it did not. Well, I was screaming in it.
I was too. I was blinking like a madman in it. I'm sitting.
Well, you were sweating.
Yeah, I was sweating. I just got done working out. I'm sitting there doing this, like really noticeably blinking. Like, I'm very glad you didn't post that because that was.
It's okay. I didn't even send it to Mumpy because I was yelling.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Sorry about my crappy microphones.
They caught a lot of audio, surprisingly.
They're very good, aren't they? For what they're used for. Obviously, these are much better.
Thank you.
Anyways, back to the topic at hand.
Squirrel.
But we started talking more at the video and texting.
I think we connected over podcasts.
Yes.
Because I mentioned that I was starting a podcast. And then you were like, I'm starting a podcast.
I am starting a podcast.
Yes.
Now, whenever that's going to come out, who knows? Stay tuned. You want me to go ahead and talk about it?
You're more than welcome to talk about it.
So, small plug for the People's Purpose podcast, the Triple P.
The PPP.
You can find us already on Instagram, YouTube, and Spotify. The only difference is on Instagram, it is People Purpose Pod.
Yes, because Instagram is weird and you can hardly ever find a username.
Exactly. So we are on 3 platforms right now. We are in the process of recording our first videos and episodes. It's going to be mine and Titus Brooks' testimony.
Yes.
And I'm very excited for it. It's basically 4 people to come on the podcast and talk about their life, how they feel, and those that think that their position in life doesn't have a meaning.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's our podcast. But we connected over podcasts.
Yes. And I had asked you then if you would come on the podcast.
Yes.
And talk about spiritual growth.
And here we are.
And you forgot about it.
I did not forget about it. She didn't want to guest till season 2, so I am right on time.
Okay. First of all, you were like, what are we going to talk about? And I was like...
Oh, I did forget. Yeah, I totally forgot about the topic. Absolutely.
I was like, we talked about this. And I even mentioned it in a past episode. And I was like...
You didn't watch the episode. And then I went back and I watched the episode.
But I did mention that we were going to be in a different location because I had planned on doing this episode in the gym. Because I relate spiritual growth to working out.
That's good.
And then I realized how loud our gym is.
And how not peaceful it is.
It's not peaceful.
No, unless we went at 4 a.m. and no one wants to go to Iron Mayhem.
It is not a space for grace.
It is a space for dangerous people
Noise.
outside of Iron Mayhem at 4 a.m.
It is a space for grunting and
sweat.
And clanking of weights.
Yes.
Yes. Because no weights are to be dropped quietly.
If you can lift it, you can put it down. Not dropping it and bending the bars. All you high school, college age, broccoli head kids. I love you all, and I'm praying for you.
Love that.
So how do you think the gym relates to spiritual growth?
Well, if you really dissect it, if you don't put in the effort to work out, are you going to see the results that you want to see?
Mm-mm.
It's the same thing with your journey with growing a relationship with God. If you're not going to take the time to sit down and talk to him and pray and read your Bible and do all the things, you're not going to see any change in you. And it's a physical thing and it's like a spiritual thing. And Monica actually said something tonight. She talked about healing of your heart. And she said that, let's see if I can find it. our physical heart can have problems, but also our spiritual heart can have problems.
Mm.
And I was like, dang, that's like a spiritual growth thing.
I mean, you have two different bodies or two different beings. You have your
Yeah.
being and your spiritual being, your
Yep.
birth and your spiritual birth.
Yes. Yeah, so it's like, are you going to put in the effort to get the body that you want? And then are you going to put in the effort to get the relationship with God that you want?
See, and that's good, too, that you said that. Because sometimes the body that you want isn't always the results you're going to get.
That's true.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes your relationship with God isn't always going to look like what you
think
expect,
it's gonna
what
look
you
like.
want it to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm. You
That's
can go to the
good.
gym. You can go to the gym. And I know, for those who don't know, I've lost over 100 pounds in 4 years. Total life change. And like, just so you know, I'm not speaking out of nowhere. You can go to the gym, read your Bible every single day,
Yes.
and you can eat terribly. You can have taco.
That's me.
The honey chipotle chicken crispers don't count, Grace. You know this. You can eat Taco Bell every single day. You can go to the bars and feed the flesh
Yeah.
every weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as you're reading your Bible, you can justify it, but you're not going to get the results
Right.
that you're wanting.
Yeah. That's good.
That's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I struggled for a long time with my spiritual growth because, I saw all these people that I looked up to who had this strong relationship with God. And I wanted so bad to have that too. But I wasn't disciplined enough to sit down and take the time out of each day.
Mm.
Even if it starts at 5 minutes. That's all you have to do.
You just got to open the app.
Yeah.
How many people have the app downloaded? Leave a comment.
All 11 subscribers, leave a comment.
It helps the analytics.
Yes.
It helps
It
the
does.
analytics. Drop a comment, leave a like. But all it takes is you opening the app.
Yes. For me, I highly recommend not using your phone
Because of the distractions.
because one notification
Mm-hmm.
can send you
Off.
spiraling down some road. I don't even know. You're going to be 3 hours into TikTok or something.
Amen. Get TikTok off your phone.
But I'm such a paper person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a physical touch. I love to turn a page.
It helps.
So whenever I sit down, I want to be able to highlight whatever I'm reading or take notes of whatever I'm reading.
Underline.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know that I read that.
Yep. Because you want to come back, you want to be like, this was important.
Yes.
I found that this was important.
And I want to know why I thought it was important.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be like, why did I highlight that?
Mm-hmm.
And then I started writing down my prayers because I noticed that whenever I would pray throughout the day, I would start off strong. And eventually I would just like
Get distracted. Get distracted. Oh,
Yes.
what do I have to do for lunch today?
Yeah.
Oh, man, what did I do yesterday that I forgot about? I do that all the time.
Yes.
I always pray in the shower. I don't know if that's a weird thing or not, but
I used to
spiritually and physically cleaning. Yeah.
I used to be told all the time, Jesus is with you in the shower.
He is.
And whenever I taught kids at camp, they're like, Jesus is with you in the shower?
Yeah.
He sees you when you're naked?
Yes, he does.
Yes, he's with you everywhere.
That's how you were in the beginning. That's how we were supposed to be. But I would get distracted.
Yeah.
Because then, I'm getting ready for my day.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, what do I have to take to school? What do I have to get for work? What do I have to pack up? What assignments are due today? And then I stop praying.
Yeah.
I don't even realize it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm taking your advice
And write down prayers.
and write down prayers. I brought a book.
You got me a book.
I bought us both books for prayer journals for each other because we gonna be praying.
We're praying. We're praying hard. Not for just us, but
Everything around us.
our friends, our family.
The support system.
Yeah. But writing it down makes it so much more intentional.
Mm-hmm.
And it's more intimate that way. Like, you have a more intimate relationship with God. And I mentioned this to you earlier, and I've mentioned it before in the podcast. Ashley and Dusty, at the very beginning of Crew, they asked us, who in the room thinks that you're worthy enough to ask for a prayer for yourself? And I remember it being so quiet.
Yeah.
And like, I never did want to pray for myself. I just felt so like guilty for doing that. But the more I wrote down prayers, the more I realized, like, I can't pray for people unless I'm okay myself. And I'm going to have to pray for myself too.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
And it's almost like, how are you supposed to take care of somebody if you can't take care of yourself?
Mm. How are you going to mean a prayer
Yeah.
for someone that you're not even blood related to
Yeah.
when you can't take into consideration the one that's making the prayer?
Exactly.
When you don't think you're worthy enough for the prayer,
Mm-hmm.
how can you pray for someone else?
Right.
And I actually had a thought.
Yeah.
If you were done with that train of thought.
Go for it.
I feel like I am worthy to pray for myself now
Yeah.
because, you know, my nickname for myself? Do you want to tell them?
You can tell them.
I like to call myself God's Swiss Army knife because I just have so many little talents and so many different abilities. I can fix things. I can research things. I can do Rubik's Cubes, you know, anything under the sun. I probably
saw
know.
your Rubik's Cube in your room today, and I was like, I thought it was a normal Rubik's Cube.
Is it not a normal Rubik's Cube?
No, it had way more squares on it.
Oh, the 5x5.
That gave me a headache looking at it. That gave me anxiety looking at it.
If it comforts you, I probably couldn't solve that one now. It's been a good few years, but 3x3 I can get down pat anyways.
Nerd.
But I know that I've been given these abilities, and I know that each one of them is special because I can use each one of them to build relationships,
Yeah.
to talk to people. And I think that's good to have a little nickname for yourself. God's silliest goose. If you still want to claim that one.
I am a silly goose.
Are you God's silliest goose?
I mean, I would like to think so.
You'd like to think so. I think it's a great place to be, to have that position for yourself.
Yeah.
And to be like, this is where I'm useful. It's because I can make people laugh because I'm the silliest.
Yeah.
I can help people in the weirdest scenarios.
Yeah. I'm also like, I feel like the way I'm silly is because, like, I'm cornbread
You
in
are.
a person.
And I love it. I do. I enjoy it. Everyone's like, do you know what you're getting yourself into? I said, yes, I do.
She's cornbread.
She's cornbread. I'm a Bluff City boy. So, I mean, it just works out.
I was talking to somebody at church the other day, and they're like, did you just say ghost? And I said, no, I said goose.
Yeah, goose.
It's goose.
It's close, though.
Yeah. She's like, it's the Holy Ghost in here? And I was like, no, it's a goose.
No, it's a goose.
Sarah was like, she's just cornbread.
Just never say oil in front of that person.
I say oil like normal. That's the one word that I say.
Really?
Oil.
Yeah. I say once, twice. Don't know why.
The one word that I'll shout them out. They give me a hard time.
Mm-hmm.
Dawn and DJ.
The ones that call me Milton.
They get on to me for saying toilet.
Oh, yeah. Toilet.
I say toilet.
It's okay.
They're like, toilet.
We forgive you.
At least somebody does, because I don't think they'll ever forgive me for saying it like that. Podcast coming soon for forgiveness, just for them. But, yeah. God's silly excuse, for sure.
I think it's good to have those names.
More so towards the cornbread, though.
Absolutely. God's cornbread? No. We'll think of one. Coming episode 2.
We'll drop it in the comments.
Exactly. Yeah. Drop in the comments what you think her title should be as
I mean, I feel like it's just a space for grace.
Space for Grace. I
Yeah.
like that.
That's like my thing.
But knowing your role, especially like you were saying, you look at these people that do have a relationship with God
Mm-hmm.
and they do have this spiritual connection, and you want that. I want Pastor Robbie's speaking ability. I want Katie's ability or Sarah's ability to spit scripture.
Yeah.
But I know that that's not my place.
Right.
I am not going to be able to sit down and memorize. Eventually, maybe.
Yeah.
But I just know that that's not where I'm good at right now.
Yeah.
What I'm good at is working the lights. I volunteer and I run the lights at church.
You are good at that.
And I know that I've been told that I pick up really, really well. And I'm very happy to serve in that role.
Yeah.
I love doing it. That's my role.
Plus, we can serve beside each other.
All week last week, I got to see this beautiful girl take pictures. And I got to see kids singing and giving their lives to Jesus. And it was...
The most amazing week.
Yes. It was long.
It was very long.
Longer for you. Because you worked and then did VBS.
Yeah.
And I'm so proud of you for that.
Thank you. Yeah, I still gotta go through this for Aaliyah so she doesn't
We
have
don't talk
to.
about it. We don't talk about it. She'll be fine.
I told her today, I was like, I promise I'm getting them to you. I just don't want you to go through 1,500 photos.
But you need that rest.
Yeah.
That's another thing. You got to rest.
Mm-hmm.
You got to take a break. In the gym, if you just go 7 days a week and you eat nothing, same thing with...
Burnout.
Yeah, you're going to get burnt out. You're going to pass out. You're going to not feel good. You're going to lose muscle instead of body fat because your body likes to hold on to body fat for storage. And in the same way, with God, if you don't eat, if you don't have fruit,
Mm-hmm.
surround yourself with the fruit. And fruit, that's people, that's scriptures, that's sermons, podcasts, however you like to get your daily fruit, daily bread. And then being there, doing the workouts, testing yourself, challenging yourself. That's the one thing. If you're not doing that, and taking a break every now and again, because you're not going to be able to spend 8 hours a day in your Bible. If you do, congratulations. I wouldn't have a job.
Yeah, no. I would be delusional. I'd be
seeing things like Revelation kind of stuff.
I wouldn't know what was going on.
I would be seeing those creatures, that is for sure.
No, I also think Katie always tells me, because I did take a month off from recording, and this past month I struggled a lot with knowing what to record, knowing what to plan for, and it was really hard.
This couch had the bad juju effect on you. Sorry,
I
go ahead.
know. I feel like it's gone.
Oh, it's gone. We've rebuked that.
Yeah.
We've sat here so many times trying to record this. We have sent that thing out of here.
Yeah.
It's tired of hearing us.
It's tired of it. But, I felt like I needed to take a month off to spend time with my friends and family, but also to, remember why I did this and why I'm wanting to share what I'm sharing, and to make sure that my heart is in the right place, and to make sure I'm doing it for all the right reasons. And then when I came back to sit down and record, I just
He got you.
Yeah.
The enemy got you, and he held you, and you were stressed.
Yes.
And you were panicked because you knew you had to record.
And I was freaking out.
Yeah.
But Katie always told me that I am always filling everybody with so much, and I'm not taking the time to refill myself.
Thank you, Katie.
And taking the time to sit down and realize what I needed to do and what I needed to talk about really helped.
Absolutely.
And so sat down one day, and I think you actually sent me a prayer one morning, and we talked about it the night before. And I went in to work the next morning, and I put on a sermon and just listened to it while I ran all my reports. And I was just like, today's a good day for this. I'm on a roll. And now I have a note in my phone full of ideas. Found another note.
Yes. Yeah, you found the long lost note. And you're like, that would have been great to have a month ago.
Yeah. I've been freaking out over nothing. But it's I feel like if I would have found that note before, I would have looked at it and been like, what am I supposed to do with this?
Exactly.
And
you found it when you were supposed to.
Yes. Because God's timing is always right.
And I want to bring that back around to the gym.
Yeah.
Because you can be doing everything right. And I know you've hit this before.
Mm-hmm.
You can be eating right. You can be going to the gym right. You can be working out, sleeping right. Everything's dialed in. But if you are stressed, or if you're letting some kind of just emotion overpower you,
Yeah.
it wrecks your whole body.
Oh, for sure. I mean,
And
look at me.
Incorrect. Everyone drop a diss. No, I was kidding. Don't dislike this. No. You're coming out of it.
Yeah.
You're coming out of it. You see the light.
Mm-hmm.
I'm praying for you.
I know.
Can we all pray for Grace?
Thank you.
Because tomorrow she's getting rebaptized. This will be 2 days ago for you all, but she's getting rebaptized. And if everyone can just say a prayer that continues to work on her and heal her from the inside out. Mm-hmm. Because she's got a lot of internal problems that I believe the enemy uses to wound her spiritually and physically.
Yeah.
And it's working. But I think you're hitting him. You're coming back and you're fighting. And I want everyone to pray that she keeps doing that.
Thank you.
Anyways.
Go on.
God's timing.
Mm-hmm.
I could have hit this journey a long time ago. 4 years ago, 5 years ago. I wouldn't have been through half of the things that have shaped my life. I'm 23. What am I talking about? I'm just getting started. I realize that. I'm just getting started. But I wouldn't have hit half of the things that I've went through. What was I going to talk about? Playing with Tonka trucks and how that helped me in my spiritual journey? No. Heartbreak, depression. That is what got me through.
Yeah.
Substance abuse.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I fell victim to just about everything that a teenager would.
Yeah.
And then some. And I was going to church. Not well.
Right.
I was working out, but I wasn't eating well.
Right.
I was eating well and sleeping well, but I wasn't working out well.
Mm-hmm.
And last August, you know what I started doing? I started working out well. I got that on track. January, started eating well. Went to membership class, started volunteering. You don't have to volunteer, just serving in some way. Serving
Mm-hmm.
does so much. Started giving monetarily. Not a lot, but I was an amount that I was happy to
Yeah.
give. And it made so much of a difference putting it all together.
Right.
And God said, okay.
Yeah.
But you know what he's also saying? Get ready.
Yes.
Because he's just recentering me.
Yes.
He's
Amen.
getting me ready to mold, ready to form. Pastor Fred's sermon. He's turning me into a bowl, and he's about to put me in the kiln. Kiln? The heater thing. Kiln. Yeah, we say that real country, don't we?
Yeah.
And
Cornbread.
I'm about to, I don't know when it's going to happen, but I mean, there's too much growth happening. Something's going to give. I just got to keep praying that I'm ready for it whenever it happens.
I think that's another thing with spiritual growth is you acknowledge when you feel like something's coming, and you're able to ask for help.
And you lean in.
Yes.
You don't run away. You don't go, okay, this is too much heat for me.
Mm-hmm.
I got a crack. God, I don't know what to do. I got a crack in my bowl. I'm going to break when this heat comes. I'm going to come out. I'm going to look real ugly.
Yeah.
You lean in.
Mm-hmm.
You tell him, pull me back out.
Yeah.
Remold me for a second, then throw me back in.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw some haymakers this next time.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Mm-hmm. Because I've noticed, like, I talked about this in my last episode of when I talked about my spiritual growth journey when Kylo passed away. I handled that in a whole different way than I ever thought I would ever handle it. And I feel like it caught up to me at one point, but I was still like, I've got this.
You do?
Like,
he's got this.
God's got this. God put him on this earth to serve a purpose, and he served that purpose.
He did.
And I believe that he took him at his time, even if I didn't want it to happen. And I feel like my mom always told me as soon as I started my podcast, I was going to be tested.
Yes, you were.
Because I'm doing the Lord's work, and the enemy is going to be at my table doing everything he can.
And you have had a full course meal for him. And he has been fighting for a seat.
I have had an empty table with every chair open. And he's had a seat at every single one of those. But I've got out of it.
And you know what? You already know what I'm about to say. I read from some like him, some hate him. Don't hate him, but just don't like the way he talks. I love it. Judah Smith. I read a book called How's Your Soul? He already talks about how he doesn't like the title. God's never surprised by these things.
Yeah.
When you fall, when you get off the path, whenever you let him have a seat at your table, the enemy, he knows.
He knows when you're going to mess up.
That's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's just like, oh, yep. Saw that one coming.
I just picture him just watching. Oh, yep. Right on schedule.
Well, yep. June 4th. Yep. 2024. Knew that was coming. And now you've lost 3 hairs on your head today. No, but he knows. And he's sitting there and he's cheering us on too. That's the most important part.
The thing that I see in my head is he's like, all right, this is going to happen, but just wait.
There's a purpose for it.
Mm-hmm.
Just wait. There's a reason for it.
Just wait till you see what I have planned for you.
Yes.
Because we can plan our lives, and I've said this so many times in every single episode that I've had before. We can plan our lives out so perfectly.
You can make timelines.
Huh?
You can make timelines.
Oh, yeah. I think my headphones went out.
Oh.
I could half hear you.
Am I good now? Am I
Yeah,
back?
you're
Okay.
good. That was very cornbread of me, huh?
Huh? I said timeline, so I don't know.
But I mean, our plans are so insignificant compared to what God has for us.
I really want to pass the CPA exam. You know, I mean, he might care. It might be part of it, but he's got so much more for me than just being a CPA.
Yeah.
So much more for you
Mm-hmm.
than this. This is going to, I can feel it. This is going to be so big, but this isn't even it.
Yeah. I don't know about that, but
Everyone can feel it. Everyone who listens to this podcast knows what this is going to be.
I just want to be able to share what God has done in my life, because I would not be where I am today with his love and his plans.
Mm.
Because my plans, they didn't work out.
My plans didn't work out either
But then again, like, we wouldn't be sitting here today.
without anything. If
I
anything
wouldn't be
changed,
having a podcast.
if one thing changed 5 years ago, neither of us would be here right now.
Yeah.
And along with that spiritual growth and that purpose in pain, the reason why you went through that, I'm not saying this is the epitome, because this is the start of the epitome of that pain
I
that we
just
went
started
through.
singing High School Musical in my head.
Are you singing High School Musical right now? Wow, I'm
Mhm.
getting so deep.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Continue.
No, go ahead. What were you singing?
It's the start.
Of something new. All right, anyways. The reason we were put together, imperfect, is so that we could promote each other.
Mm-hmm.
Something I told you the other day, to be the example.
Mm.
Very important to me, very important to you, is to be the example.
Right.
And with that comes judgment. With that comes assumptions.
Yes.
But I think God has put you, someone who's supportive, who is strong-willed, maybe a little bit too much,
Mm-hmm.
but very strong-willed and beautiful, if I do say so myself, into my life to fight those battles together.
Yeah.
From everything that you've been through and everything that I've been through, we're kind of a powerhouse.
We are. Yeah.
You know, every bit of it made sense.
Yeah.
Us meeting at membership class,
Mm-hmm.
moments after I ended a
Yeah.
relationship, my last relationship, reconnecting, something like this timeline that we were on.
I was so glad to see you walk through those doors, because actually, no, I walked in
You walked in late.
late. Surprise, surprise.
You walked in late and ran over to me.
Because I hate sitting by myself or with a stranger.
And I was sitting with a stranger. No longer a stranger. One of my very good friends, Matthew, at church.
I just couldn't. Like, I was like, I know him. I'm going to go sit with him. And
Everything since.
yeah.
You getting me into crew. Everyone bullying you into flirting with me. Me being completely oblivious.
We never finished how we got together.
Yeah. She brought me to crew. She flirted with me. Very
I wouldn't call it flirting.
unsuccessfully flirted with me.
They said flirt with him, and I avoided eye contact at all costs.
She said We'll get there. I was oblivious. I was invited to a pretty place. I was
Pretty
even
place.
surprised, even invited to a surprise party for Sarah, and I was out of town that weekend.
Spartan.
Spartan weekend. But you wanted to make me a basket
I did.
for the Spartan. You and Dusty both asked me what kind of snacks I liked at the same time, and I'm like, something's going on here.
Yeah.
And then you came out and you said it.
That was before.
Before?
Before the Spartan. I said it before the Spartan.
Before the Spartan.
Yeah.
Because you made me the basket for the Spartan.
Yeah, but I couldn't wait to I was too embarrassed to give you the basket before telling you.
I'm glad you didn't wait. Because I didn't even look into the basket when you gave it to me until I got home.
You were just like, there's sticky notes on everything.
Don't come for me right now.
Or there's a stuffed animal in here. What the heck?
It was a small stuffed T-Rex, and I was like, what's a stuffed animal for?
For Thor.
But she said it was for Thor, and I was like, this is the sweetest thing. I've never received this kind of effort.
Thor is his dog.
Thor's my dog. He's a 120-pound golden retriever.
I didn't know he weighed that much.
He's a full taxpayer. I filed his W.
Okay, count it.
His 1040 this year.
Yeah. I was in denial about my feelings towards you.
Why?
I don't know. I wasn't ready.
Her timing.
God laughed.
You said, no, I want someone who's like 6'2". And God laughed.
I want somebody older than me.
And God laughed.
Yeah.
And he said, any minute now,
Yeah.
she's going to realize.
Yes.
And I never did. I had to be told over text. Because, well, no, I mean, I had the bug in my ear. And
Dusty
I
gave you
was
the
starting to
bug.
come around.
And then why did you like the play?
She texted Dusty and said, hey, you better be talking me up back there.
No, I said, hey, hype me up back there.
Hype me up back there. And he did in the, sorry, Dusty, worst way possible.
He said,
But it worked.
how about Grace?
How about Grace? She loves Jesus. Yeah, she does. That is great. Cool. Yeah, exactly.
I do love Jesus.
That's pretty much what I did. I was just like, There's other things. But I thought you were way out of my league, personally. I didn't feel like I deserved it. I was happy being single. And God laughed. And he looked at his watch again. He's like, almost there. And then I walked up to you.
And I was like,
I'm where she is. She's looking this way, dancing to the walk-in music in the sanctuary.
I was bopping.
And I talked to her, and she does not look away
I
from
did
this
not
spot.
make eye contact.
Nope.
I continued to bop.
But
And I
she was
like,
flirting.
have a good time, Evan. Be safe.
But eventually the basket came.
The message came before the basket
The message came.
because I was too nervous to wait for the basket. And so I sent Evan a message saying, hey, I have to tell you something that I can't avoid any longer. I kind of like you.
Kind of.
I kind of have a crush on you.
Yeah, kind of.
I'm going to go hide now.
I was like, I saw this message, and I was studying for the CPA exam, and I said, I cannot respond to this right now because I was not focused. I want to give you my full attention. I wanted to give the CPA my full attention. But then, guess what? I couldn't focus on studying. So, I finally responded. I said, I
With
like
the
you too.
most
Accountant, analytical rational.
response I could have ever imagined.
And
Meanwhile, I'm freaking out.
yeah, because it took me a while to type it out.
Everybody was freaking out.
The whole group chat, the crew girlies, were squeaking.
Sweating.
Sweating. Sarah was squeaking.
Squeak. Sarah squeaks. But then it was like, I like you too.
Yeah. In short, TLDR, I like you too.
Yeah.
Too long didn't read for anyone who doesn't know accountant or Reddit speak. I'm not on Reddit. I'm gonna shut up now.
He's such a nerd.
For all this, I just want to bring up the timing because everything happened as it should.
Yeah.
If you would have said that any earlier in the semester, I mean, how long would it have been until we had a date? Because I didn't take her on a date till the night the night of the day I took my CPA exam, because I was like, I cannot focus on this. I am too stressed out. I do not want to do that to you, and I also don't want to do it to me because
Yeah.
we don't know each other. Like we know each other,
Yeah.
but I wanted to make that connection genuinely.
Right.
But the timeline was perfect. Every step of the way, every encounter that we had with each other.
Was God's timing?
I mean, it wasn't ours. That is for sure.
No.
2 days before, I had said I'm good being single. 2 days later, I get a text. I kind of really like you.
It's always kinda. I
Yeah.
kinda have a boyfriend now.
We're kind of dating.
He kinda asked me to be his girlfriend. But
We're here
we're here.
and we're happy.
We're happy. And God is the center of it all. And that's been the biggest difference in this relationship compared to any of the past relationships I've ever had.
Same here.
And that is like a breath of fresh air.
I sent you prayers.
Never
text.
in my life have I ever had a man send me prayers.
I've never sent a prayer. I've said them, but I have never sent a prayer. I was really scared of praying. I just didn't feel like I could.
Well, I don't pray out loud.
It's hard,
It is hard.
especially in front of people.
Well, I just feel like that's part of why I write them down is because I feel crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's my most vulnerable time.
Yeah.
Because what goes through my head, I feel like a lot of people don't have that going through their head.
The inner monologue.
The internal monologue.
Yeah.
I feel like most people have internal monologue, but there's just a few people that don't have it. But my internal monologue is a little bit different than everybody else's. It's a little darker.
And prayer, like, you can do a whole episode on prayer.
Yeah.
Katie
Bug.
would be a great one to do that with. Anyways, prayer should be the most intimate and serious time that you should spend with God because you're speaking to him.
Right.
Now, it doesn't always have to be.
Right.
You can be in a rush going to work. You got to be like, Lord, I know this person just cut me off. Please just pray for them. Make sure they get home safe. I've started doing that a lot.
That's because you have road rage.
I'm working on it, and I've started praying for people. Katie, you can attest for me that was not road rage, and I've been doing a lot better with it. She has my back, 2v1. But
that's great. Yeah.
what else about spiritual growth?
What?
Ooh,
What?
the one difference
Okay.
between the gym and spiritual growth. I mean, several differences, but the big difference that I thought of,
Mm-hmm.
you can't add 20 pounds of muscle in a month,
Mm.
but God can add years of spiritual growth in a day
Yeah.
because he is limitless.
Mm-hmm. You told me last night not to put him in a box.
I tell everyone that now
Yeah.
because I'm preaching to myself because I always do.
Yeah.
I always think, oh no, that's not significant enough. Don't put
Mhm.
God in a box.
Yeah.
I can't pray for this. Don't put God in a box. He might not answer it. Depending on the message of your prayer, he might not answer it,
Yeah.
but don't put him in a box
But that's the thing is like he might not answer it right now.
or in the way you think.
Yeah. And just because God doesn't answer a prayer for you doesn't mean that it's not on the way.
Mm.
Because I've had so many prayers that I've prayed, and him not answering a prayer the way that I wanted it was him protecting me.
Mm.
And I never realized it until years down the road.
Years after you cried about it and yelled at him for it
Mm-hmm.
and been mean to him.
Yeah.
And you know what? He wasn't surprised.
No, he wasn't. And then you wake up one day and you're like, ah, that makes a lot of sense.
That's why he didn't do that.
Yeah.
That's why he didn't, let me go up to that girl in class.
Yeah.
That's why he didn't let me get that job promotion.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he didn't want me to go to that church.
Yeah. That's why I didn't get that opportunity.
Mm.
That's why I was told no. That's why I was rejected.
Mm.
Mm.
Mm. That's big.
Yeah.
That's big for someone.
Because rejection hurts.
Especially whenever you want it.
Yeah.
Especially whenever you have fought for it.
Absolutely.
But it doesn't mean that you are any less in any of those.
Mm-hmm.
Rejection's big.
It is. And that's why I did an episode on it.
Mm. Go back to season 1 to find out.
Yeah. I think it was the last episode.
Might have been the last episode. Quote
can't
her on that.
I can't remember. Don't quote me on it.
But that door shuts.
Yeah.
Another one opens.
Yep.
It's not going to be across the hall. It might be miles down the road.
Yeah.
But another one just opened.
Right.
Mm.
That's good.
If God throws a pitch, it's out of the park.
Yeah.
If the enemy throws one, there's strikes. For all you sports fans out there.
I also heard something the other day, and it was, do you know who Allie Yost is? I've talked
Yes.
about her
Yes.
before. Her and her friend were talking about how the enemy always shows you something before God gives you something. And it's because the enemy shows you something fake before you see the real thing. Because if you see the real thing first, you'll never believe the fake version of it. Yeah.
Keep going.
That's period.
That's period?
Yeah.
I felt like there was more.
There was not more.
It's so good. I just wanted more.
I mean, you can elaborate more, but I mean,
I think they got it.
it's just so good that you
It's
just
so good.
stop there.
You just stop there.
I feel like the study that we've been doing, it's just good.
And not because it fixes everything.
Right.
It makes you aware.
Correct.
Because how many times have we called each other out, like just in the crew, about letting the enemy have a seat at our tables?
Every day.
Every single day, I hear someone say, "That's the enemy." You know what I would have thought 4 months ago hearing that? What are you talking about?
Yeah. Yeah.
I would have thought, what are you talking about? But now I know. It's that I'm trying to have God and Satan have a seat at my table.
Yeah.
I am trying to go to church on Sunday and then go to the bars on Friday. Not for good reasons. Go to the bars. And I knew that wasn't how I needed to be fed.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
It's good.
that's good.
I always had really good conversations with Mom about it because I always said I hated this study. As in, I wanted to throw those books out the window. I was ready to have a bonfire, throw them books in it.
Mm-hmm.
I never wanted to see those books again.
Mm-mm.
When Katie was like, "Oh, we still have one more chapter," I was like, "No, we don't."
Because it makes you aware
Yes.
of everything you do.
Yes. And Mom was like, "It's not that you hate it.
Mm.
You just are more aware of what's going on around you now."
The enemy don't want you to read it.
Yeah.
He doesn't want us to finish that chapter.
Yeah.
He doesn't want us to learn how to keep him away.
Yep.
There it is again.
And it's hard.
It's very hard.
Yeah.
Especially because sometimes he comes to the table in different disguises.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, he shows you something that looks real good, real godlike. But it's not it.
Yeah.
Mm. He takes off the mask.
And then you're scared.
Oops, gimme. and you know what God's doing? Yep. That's about right.
Right on time.
Sorry, I keep hitting my mouth. Sorry. Y'all.
I hit my glasses.
Okay. We'll ASMR for the viewers at home.
Let's not
Let's
do
not.
that. I'm so sorry if you can hear the ticking.
Sorry if you can hear my scruff against the microphone.
You shouldn't be able to.
Okay, that's
I
good.
haven't heard it, so
That's great.
I can hear you breathing.
Have you been able to hear me breathing this whole time?
I don't know. I haven't paid attention.
I'm so sorry if I've been, because my mouth has been there the entire time.
Mine has too.
Well, I'm so sorry because I breathe very heavily.
Who doesn't these days?
Mm. That's good. I don't think you intended it to be that good, but it was.
No, I don't. I didn't. I don't know what you thought was good about it, but
Who doesn't breathe heavily these days? Exactly. If y'all just heard or saw that inhale.
I hear that a lot at church now.
What? Is it because of me?
No, because you can hear everybody taking it all in.
Especially whenever like Robbie does the.
Come on, somebody.
He just goes. He just looks out with those big ol' eyes of his and just goes, "Are y'all hearing this? Because it's good."
It's awful quiet in here.
It's awful quiet in here on this Sunday morning.
I love it.
They can't hear it.
I can hear it. My dogs are going cray cray outside.
They're just good boys living their best life.
I would hope so. Hopefully it's not a bear
That's all right.
outside.
It's not a bear.
But I think we hit a lot of the basics.
I think we had a lot, and I think that this was a good episode.
It was. It was very healing.
Yes.
Which I always tell them that I sit down and don't know what I'm going to talk about.
Absolutely not.
And God does his thing.
I just came in with an open heart and an open mind.
But I told you I had no idea what I was going to talk about when I sat down here.
And we read like, what, two things out of that book right there off your notes about spiritual growth?
I read 0 things off of this paper.
That's God.
Well, that was fun.
Well, that was fun. The camera died.
It's okay.
It's okay.
We'll piece it back together. We have no idea where we left off, but we will.
It might have been a hard cut.
Yeah.
But
it's okay.
It's okay. You have plenty more episodes to go through.
Well, that, and we spoke a lot about everything.
A
So,
lot.
I think we got a full episode. And
Hopefully you enjoyed
yeah,
my ramblings.
my ramblings.
Thank you for having me in
Of
A Space for
course.
Grace.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you, avid
A space for gracers.
A space for gracers? For
I don't know. I just made that up on the spot.
spacers?
A space for gracers.
Do you want to shorten it to like spacers?
I don't know. That's kind of weird.
Space gracers? The Great Space Grace.
I always say, I have my abbreviation. AS4G.
AS4Gs. Hey, AS4Gs. Thank you for having me on this episode.
Well, we loved having you here.
Of course.
And I know that we'll see you again.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm so honored.
of course. Are you going to do the outro with me?
I don't know the outro.
Oh, you know the
I
outro.
don't know the outro.
Fine, I'll do it myself.
You can say it slowly, and I might be able to pick up on it.
It's fine. I'll do it myself.
Okay.
But I'll point to you when it's your turn.
Okay.
I hope you all enjoyed this episode. I will see you all next week with another episode. Don't know what we're talking about yet. Don't know who's going to be on the episode.
Katie.
There might be another
Could be.
guest.
Could be.
Don't know.
Who knows? Katie.
We will see. But as always, remember that I love you.
Jesus loves you.
No, you're supposed to say I love you.
Are we refraining? I thought it was just like my turn now. I said it right,
You said it right.
but that's not what
you
we're doing.
have to say
Okay,
it
go
too.
ahead. Go ahead.
As always, remember that I love you
I love you.
and Jesus loves you too.
Jesus loves you too.
Bye.
Bye.